the next move is yours. Genesis 26 and verse 1 to verse 5, I read from the New International Version of the Bible. It says, "Now there was a famine in the land besides the previous famine in Abraham's time. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines in Gerar. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, 'Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land where I tell you to live. Stay in this land for a while, and I will be with you and will bless you. For to you and your descendants I will give all these lands, and will confirm the oath I swore to your father Abraham. I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and will give them all these lands, and through your offsprings all nations on earth will be blessed.'" Verse 5 says, "Because Abraham obeyed me and did everything I required of him, keeping my commandments, my decrees, and my instructions." By the time we read verse 6, you jump to verse 6, it says, "So Isaac stayed in Gerar." Another word for that is Isaac obeyed divine instructions. Isaac stayed where God told him to stay. All right, but verse 12 now says, "Isaac planted crops in that land, and the same year reaped 100-fold, because the Lord blessed him. The man became rich, and his wealth continued to grow until he became very wealthy. He had so many flocks and herds and servants that the Philistines envied him." And just like the time of Isaac, many will say that our nation, Nigeria, is in a famine. Many parts of the world, famine. As a matter of fact, the whole world. I'm not sure there is a country where people are not complaining. So here and there, people are complaining that it's a tough time, that it's a tough season. The truth of the matter is, it's not about the season. It's not about the environment. It's about your instructions. I want to believe, just like Isaac, you already have your instructions for 2024. But remember, I shared something with you, I think that was last week, that the blessing is in doing. So it's not enough for you to stay in Gerar. You have to invest in Gerar. It's not enough for you to take solace, take comfort in divine instructions. You have to invest in the will of God. Okay? You have to what? You have to invest in the will of God. Don't just stay in the will of God. Invest in the will of God. So you have married and you know that the person you married is the will of God. You run a business, you know that business is the will of God. Or you have relocated to another country and you know that where you are right now, this country of yours, this country of your choice is the will of God. It's not enough. We take a lot of pleasure in knowing the will of God. But what the Bible is saying is knowing the will of God is not enough. You have to invest in the will of God. I want to say it in a way you will remember. And this is it. To receive your allocation, you have to invest in your location. Let me say it again. To receive your allocation, you have to invest in your location. What I have come to discover is that the blessing responds to investment. The blessing responds to investment. And if there's anything you must do in 2024, it is that you invest early. Invest early. I notice some people I know entered the year with that attitude of, okay, it's a whole 12 months. We still have time. And then they want to take it easy. But if there's anything you should do, it is to begin your investment early in the year. Okay? Begin your investment now. Begin your investment now. If I were you, I will invest in January to June. Okay? So that July to December can be a time of harvest for me. Okay? January to June, especially January to March. Make it a time of investment. Listen, God does not have a calendar, so He is not waiting. There is a lot that you have to do. I know you may be tired from 2023, but you've got to find a rhythm and make sure that you are not missing out on the opportunities that God is bringing your way very early this year. I want to round up by reading to you Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 1 to verse 6. Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 1 to verse 6. I'm going to read from the New Living Translation of the Bible. It says, Send your grain across the seas, and in time, profits will flow back to you. But divide your investments among many places, for you do not know what risks might lie ahead. When clouds are heavy, the rains come down. When a tree falls north or south, it stays where it falls. Farmers who wait for perfect weather never plant. If they watch every cloud, they never harvest. Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse 4 is crucial. Let me read it again. Farmers who wait for perfect weather never plant. If they watch every cloud, they never harvest. What that means is because you were waiting for perfect conditions and you did not make a move, because of that, when the time of harvest comes, you will have nothing to harvest. Verse 5 says, just as you cannot understand the path of the wind or the mystery of a tiny baby growing in its mother's womb, so you cannot understand the activity of God who does all things. Verse 6 is where we are going. It says, plant your seed in the morning and keep busy all afternoon, for you do not know if profit will come from one activity or another, or maybe both. I read so many years ago that the space rocket uses 80% of its fuel just for takeoff. As we take off in 2024, I want you to put your best effort into it. Okay? God has given you a word. So the next move is yours. And as you make your moves, the blessing will respond to your investment in the name of Jesus.